This lighting is not very good, but today I decided randomly that I want to do a 24-hour manga readathon, where I just read for 24 hours for some reason. If you hear any background noise, I'm sorry. There's a movie going on and a cat running around in here, so there's lots of noise happening in the background. So, like I said, today we're going to be doing some reading of manga. So I guess I'll just show you what I have planned. It's like almost 9 o'clock, so I decided I'm going to read from 9 p.m. to 9 p.m. And that's going to be the 24 hours I use, because I would rather not start at like 8 a.m. I don't know why. So I guess I'll just show you what I have picked out so far. It's definitely not going to last me the whole 24 hours, but I have a couple of series that I'd like to get to, so let's look at those. So here's the small list of things I've picked out so far. I mentioned a couple times I want to read Mermaid Saga this month because it's about mermaids. And then I have Beast Complex Volume 1 because I feel like it'd be a good way to just get into the world of Beastars. And I haven't read any of Beastars yet, but this is just short stories, so I don't have to be fully committed at this point. Then I have Zom 100 Volume 2, so I'm just going volume by volume with the series because I'm not fully committed yet at this point. So there's the second volume. And then, I guess we'll go over here first. I mentioned that I have another mermaid series, or merman series in this case. And that's what this is. I might try that, just for the hell of it. I don't know why I have that, but it's fine. I think it's a 4-panel, actually. I believe that's the case. Yeah. Anyway, you know what that is. It says it right in the title. And then I'd also like to read Vagabond. I don't know why, but I've really been wanting to read Vagabond. I haven't read it before, but it's by Takiko Inoue, so obviously it has beautiful art, and I've been seeing lots of people talking about it recently, and I just really, really want to read it, and it's been on my shelves for at least 3 years at this point. So I'd like to get to it, maybe during this video, and then we'll see how my mood changes in these 24 hours, because obviously it's not going to take me 24 hours to get through all these. So, this is where I'm starting. I think I want to start with Mermaid Saga. So yeah, I guess I'll just start and then update you guys later. Okay, it's like 10:30 now. I read the first volume of Mermaid Saga. So, this is definitely a horror manga. I don't think you could classify it as any other genre other than horror. It's also a collection of short stories, so it focuses on these two main characters, but it has different stories as they kind of go along on their journey. So it's not really an overarching, well, there's kind of an overarching plot, but mostly it's just short story format. So these are definitely scary mermaids. These are not regular mermaids. These are scary versions of mermaids. They have sharp teeth. They're scary looking. And then the main thing with this story is that if you eat the flesh of a mermaid, you have the chance to become immortal. So it follows different people who receive the consequences of that. So I really like this first volume. Like I said, I usually really enjoy the short story format of horror manga, which is exactly what this is. And I'm really liking this. All the different ways that the mermaid flesh, all the effects it has on different people is very interesting to read about. And I like the two main characters. They're pretty cool. So yeah, also these books have a bunch of color pages. I have to be careful because they are definitely uncensored mermaids, so be aware of that. But there's lots of color pages throughout this whole book. Usually every chapter has some color pages at the beginning. One thing that I will mention though is, here's some more color pages. One thing I will mention is that sometimes they have some pages that were meant to be color pages, but are not color pages in this book. And it makes it look really blurry. Let me see if I can find an example. So like this, if you can see, it was originally meant to be a color page, but in this edition, it's not colored. So it just looks very, very blurry. And that usually isn't really the case for manga. I find that the only other series I really have this issue with is Dorohedoro sometimes. But this one makes it really look very blurry. So that's just something to consider. It doesn't happen very often. It's only like 2 chapters, I think, where that's a problem. And it's only like the first couple pages in the chapters. So it would have been nice to have those as color pages so I could see entirely what's going on, but it's just something to consider. I'm not sure if they could have actually printed it any better than this, if they couldn't color the pages, so I don't know. So now I'm going to move on to volume 2 because I'm liking this enough to keep reading it right now. So I'll just do that. Okay, I finished the second volume, which means I finished the series. I definitely liked the first volume more than the second volume. I think I just found the short stories in the first volume to be more engaging than the second volume. There's more actual mermaids in the first volume than the second volume. Also, I can't say this had a satisfying ending. It was just like a regular short story. The short story ended and then that's the end of the series. But like the overarching plot doesn't really end at all. There's no like conclusion for that part. But yeah, I still would recommend this if you like horror short stories. I do think they are done very well. And I think I'd be interested in checking out more of Rumiko Takahashi's works. I think a lot of them are romance, which I usually don't reach for, but we'll see. So yeah, that's the first thing I finished. Next, I think I'm going to read Zom 100, and then we'll see what happens after that. Goal of this video was to stay awake for 24 hours and just read manga all the way through that 24 hours. I don't know if that's going to happen. This might be a fail in my first attempt, but I did read volume 2 of Zom 100, Bucket List of the Dead. I did like this one a bit more than the first one. I still don't think it's the funniest thing ever, but this one got a couple chuckles out of me, whereas the first volume really didn't. So I will continue with this, with the next volume. Like I said, it's on a volume by volume basis, the series so far. But I do really like this just obnoxiously green shark on the cover. I might try to read something. I might just give up and try again in the morning. Maybe I'll get up early. We'll see what I'm going to do. I fed you already. I did. I fed you already. Okay, hello. It's like 8 p.m. now. So this whole like reading for 24 hours thing did not work. But I did read a lot of other stuff. So I guess we'll get to that. So since I last updated you on my reading shenanigans, I read volume 8, volume 9, volume 10, volume 11, volume 12, and volume 13 of Requiem of the Rose King, which I was reading in March, and I meant to finish it in April. Well, continue it in April, but I didn't get to it, and now I finally got to it. I read everything that's out so far. Next volume, I don't know when the next volume comes out. So I can't say I'm completely attached to this series. Right now, I'm kind of just reading it to see what happens, because it's interesting, but I'm not really attached to the characters, although I do like this guy, because he's the main character's childhood friend, and I always like those characters. So right now, what's been happening in these 6 volumes is lots of palace intrigue, politics, which it's also Shakespearean and very dramatic and melodramatic. So there's lots of like sex and betrayals and cheating and violence and death and gore. Lots of stuff is happening in these volumes. Like I said, I'm kind of just reading it to see what's going to happen, because at this point in the series, I don't really know what the next goal is. So I'm not sure where it's gonna go. I have some characters I like. I have some characters I do not like. I don't know. It's all very interesting. So I'll keep reading it. Hopefully I don't forget anything when the next volume comes out, because I feel like these would be pretty easy to forget if you don't read them right after one after the other. So I guess they do have like a little, don't show any spoilers, but they have a little like synopsis of what's happened so far. So yeah, there's that. I read those. It was interesting. I did like these 2 volumes, 11 and 12, a lot. These 2. So I only have about an hour left of this 24-hour period. I could read longer, but I think I'm going to stop it at 9 like I meant to. So I figured I might as well end this video by reading Merman in My Tub Volume 1. Listen, it's going to be funny, right? I literally do not remember why I bought this. I think it was like really cheap, like $3. And then I just kept buying them for some reason, and I haven't read any of them. And I don't know why. I think it's because I've seen, like, what the anime looks like. I haven't seen the anime, but I've seen some clips from it, I think, or some GIFs or something. And I don't know, the characters look pretty. So, yeah, I'm gonna read this, and I'll tell you what's happening. I think it's pretty self-explanatory with a merman in this guy's tub. But, I don't know. I'm sure there's something else there, too. That's a merman. I read Merman in My Tub. So this is just 4-panel manga, and that's pretty much all I have to say about it. It's funny enough for a 4-panel manga, but I definitely would not say that this is something that needs to be picked up or read. I don't know. I'm just gonna read it because I have most of the volumes. I think there's only one more coming out. So I'll read it. It's not like the world's best literature out there. It was entertaining enough. I don't think I could read a bunch of these volumes at once. I think I would just get burnt out from that very quickly. Also, I feel like 4-panel manga always take forever to read. It felt like it took me almost a whole hour to read this one volume, which is a lot longer than it usually takes me to read a volume of manga. But yeah, this was fine. The characters are fine. I got pretty much exactly what I was expecting from this, just a derpy merman living in this guy's bathtub. With some added friends sometimes. That's all this is. And it did that fine, I suppose. So this is everything I read in this 24 hours. Like I said, this didn't go exactly how I wanted it to. I didn't read for a full 24 hours. Maybe if I do another one of these, I'll actually stay awake for 24 hours and just read manga. But I did get through 10 volumes, which is more than I get through in a normal day. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know if you have any thoughts about this format of video or the manga I read today. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!